won't be issuing one, we will issue the parking tickets. I don't know what happened last Sunday. I'll have to look into it and get back to you.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Mr. Wilson?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about our annual audits, which we discussed before. As of right now, we are still 2 years behind in our annual audits. And I spoke to the Department of Community and Economic Development this morning, the Center for Local Government Services. For the 2010 audit, it was put in 13 days late. And the 2011 audit was put in 3 months early. That was Francie Howard that did those. Since Pezenti Consulting has taken over, the 2012 budget was 1 year late. The 2013 budget was a year and a half, I'm sorry, budget, I'm talking about annual audits. The 2012 annual audit was 1 year late. The 2013 annual audit was a year and a half late. The 2014 audit was 2 years late. The 2015 audit was 1 year late. The 2016 audit was due 4/1/17, and it was completed 4/17/19, so it was 2 years late. And at the November budget meeting last year, Joe Pezenti said that the 2016 audit was completed. However, it wasn't submitted until about 6 months later in April. The 2017 audit was due on 4/1/18. The DCED said they had just notified the borough that they are delinquent on 2017. So they have some numbers in the online form, but no audit has been completed and no report has been submitted. For 2018, which was due 4/1/19, the DCED has absolutely nothing. Nothing on the 2018 audit at all. And of course, you have to do them all in order to be caught up. So the audit is not in progress, the audit is not completed, and no report has been submitted for 2018. Out of 2,500 communities in the state of Pennsylvania, only 150 do not have their 2018 audit completed. And we're one of those 150, and we don't even have the 2017 audit completed. Now, a year ago, Eddystone was one of only 16 out of 2,500 that did not have their 2016 audit done. So we have been behind on these audits continually since the 2012 audit. And in all that time, we have not been eligible for Department of Community and Economic Development grants. And that's got to cost us money, that's got to raise your taxes, that's got to keep you from having services. And those are facts, as somebody likes to hear. Now my question is, since they have not gotten these audits done on time, since they have been here, why do we continue to employ Pezenti Consulting as...
Your 3 minutes are up.
You have no authority to do that. My question is, why do we continue year after year to renew their $70,000 contract, plus giving them other work? In addition to that, we're probably spending $90,000. Now, to me, it seems irresponsible to continue to employ a company that's not doing the most basic thing that you need to do. And in fact, the treasurer is not here to explain any of this because the treasurer never comes to these meetings. So that's my say. I think it's irresponsible to keep year after year employing the same people that don't do the job that we
Thank
pay
you for
them.
your input, Mr. Wilson. Would you like to respond?
Yes.
Oh, then I will respond. I'll stay on.
No, you're done.
No, I'm not done. But there's,
No, you're
we're
done.
gonna-
More
we're
comment.
gonna-
You have to
we're
see
gonna
while
have a
they
discussion.
respond. Go ahead.
Are we gonna have a discussion? I'm ready.
2017 audits at 90,
99%, I think, was done today. It's just not uploaded on the DC.
It's
Yes,
not
they
done.
said-
So,
I talked to
you had the floor, it's my turn now.
Okay.
You spoke, I get a chance, I didn't interrupt
They
you.
said Sandy would have the letter.
Sandy, I think Mr. Hanna just reached out to Sandy for the letter, which Sandy will draft the letter, and that finalizes 2017. And then Hannah's office will upload it onto the Municipal, and then 2017 will be done.
Already started.
And I think we've explained this before. The deadline of 4/1/18 to have your audit done, or 4/1/19, excuse me, to have the 18 audit done, was used in the past to get your liquid fuels fund, which no longer exists. As long as you have 4 basic forms done, which you do every year, which we do for you, which is done by January 31st, which is your elected official form, your tax information form, your MS 965, which is your liquid fuel report, the 3 forms. We get them done. You get your liquid fuel funds every year on time. The DCD report, which we actually just got a reminder in the mail, just reminding us that your 18 report, financial audit report, is not due until 12/31/2019 for 18. So once they upload this 2017, you are current with your audits.
That's not true.
When you talk to a secretary at DCED, they just give you the facts, they don't give you the true information. When you talk to people that you've been doing it, you know the information. So, but you have to apply for a DCED grant if you get red flag, but sometimes when you go for a DCED grant and you have a red flag, if your auditor writes a letter, they'll lift the red flag to get the grant. You guys
Not
have
if
to
you're
really
not
plan
nearly
for
caught
it.
up. If
You're
you're 2
apply
years
for a
behind.
Mr.
DCED.
Wilson, Mr. Pezenti has the floor. You are done speaking. You are.
You haven't applied for a DCD grant in some time. If you did, you would have made the necessary steps to make sure you would have been eligible for a DCD.
Well,
And with your audit not being done, that doesn't that doesn't raise taxes. That's not the reason taxes get raised if your audit's not done.
Your audit gets,
So
your
when
taxes go up when you don't
facts
get
are,
grants.
the wrong stuff's out there, it's just not true. That's the facts. Your audits don't cause taxes to get raised.
If we don't apply for the DCED grants, does that cause the borough to lose money?
No.
It does if you don't,
So-
if you don't
If
apply
we're not
for the grant, you
applying-
can't get the
But
grant.
if you,
If you're not
But it
eligible for
doesn't-
the grant, you can't apply for the
It doesn't cause the borough to lose
grant.
money if we're not applying for the grants.
Mr.
which I
Wilson, we've
believe
gotten
is-
over $500,000 in grants over the past couple of years.
Have you gotten any DCED grants?
We have applied for one, there is one pending.
Where?
um,
Where? When did we apply for one? You're not gonna get it if you're 2 years behind, because they keep track of that.
So what?
So what Mr. Pezenti is telling us is fine.
so
but
if you
the
apply
fact-
for a
the fact that
DCD
you-
grant, it'd be perfectly
The
fine.
fact that you don't have your audits done is not gonna raise your taxes. What's gonna raise your taxes is that if you have tax money going out of the borough and no tax money coming back from Harrisburg because you're ineligible for these grants.
Well, tax money doesn't come in from Harrisburg, it comes in from the taxpayers.
It does.
Yeah, so
But
they
it
don't
goes
live
through
in Harrisburg, they
Harrisburg.
live in
You
Eddie.
think that the grants don't come from the state?
But that's
Is that what
not
you're
tax
telling me?
money, that doesn't balance the budget grant money, that's
Where
money
does
to
the, where does the state get
improve.
its money? Does it get money from our
From the, yeah,
taxes?
but it doesn't get from your property taxes, property taxes fund the budget.
You're saying that,
He
you're saying that the
Real
the
estate
citizens
taxes
do
is
not
what
fund the
funds
state
the budget.
programs? Is that what you're
I'd
saying?
love to have a conversation with you after the meeting, we can go all night with this, but real estate taxes fund the budget, not taxes that you pay to the state. So grants don't fund a budget. You don't put
No,
into
grants,
your
of course
budget.
not, grants don't fund the
Well, that's
budget.
what you've been saying.
No, I'm saying that
Doesn't cause the borough to lose
when
money.
you get a grant to do something in this town, if you get an RCAP grant or any other grant, that is money that is going to be less that you're gonna have to tax, less that you're going to have to borrow.
Well, sometimes grants are matching grants, so sometimes
That's
you have
right.
to pay.
And if we get the RCAP grant that you applied for the police department, we're gonna be another $1 million in debt, because that is only gonna be a match of 50%.
Yeah, but that would have been the
No,
building
our
project. You were
grant is
okay
good.
with that.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you
When
were.
you asked Bill, I wasn't okay with that.
Oh, you were, oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So
And the
I will
treasurer's
tell
not
you
here tonight
again,
because he's
the
sick.
fact
As you all know, the
remains-
treasurer has Parkinson's disease, so
Yes.
he is
The fact-
sick tonight, so he apologizes that he's not.
He's
here.
never here.
Thank you, Mark.
So when you have an ongoing disease with Parkinson's, it's tough to make yourself available at nighttime. So I apologize, he's not here at 7 o'clock
Well,
meeting.
he apologized for being 2 years behind in the audits last year, and he's still 2 years behind in the audits.
Your
The
sympathy.
fact remains,
Noted.
the fact remains that you have not submitted the audits on time, and we're still 2
And Joe
years.
did not deny that.
Mr. Wilson.
Mr. Pacenti did not deny that.
Mr. Pacenti does
So
not
I
deny that.
thank you for allowing me to respond.
Thank you,
Thank
Mark.
you.
Thank you, Ms. Wall.
Mr. Stewart?
Before I take the podium, Mr. Reeves, first off, I didn't appreciate the whispering comment that says that he's reading off of my cue cards. Mr. Wilson does his own due diligence. Secondly, I didn't appreciate the gesture of making it seem as if he was a puppet. Again, it was inappropriate coming from your chair, in my opinion, to be making that gesture about a resident that has concerns and wants to take the podium. To set the record straight, I've gotten empty promises from Joe Pacente regarding the completion of the audits. When I brought it to Mr. Pacente's attention back in 13 and 14 that he was falling behind on the audits, he did make an effort to catch up 13 and 14. However, in 2015, during the budget season, he told me that he would have the 15 audit done before the end of calendar year 2016. And that audit just recently got submitted.
And when did he notify council?
Yeah.
He never notified council on anything, because I was not aware of that.
Yeah, Mr. Stewart, I tell you, the last 2
So-
months of council, you have done nothing but harp on these.
I think
things.
Mr. Stewart has the floor.
Apparently he doesn't, like you,
Yeah.
Mr. Wilson. So anyway,
Okay, well,
you have
we
constantly hammered us with this.
we are on the record at the last council meeting.
Of
We're
course.
on the record, and I have asked President Reeves on 2 occasions during that meeting, when do we anticipate the completion of the 2017 and 2018 audits? And President Reeves said those audits will be complete before the end of September 2019.
And here's the question.
And here we are in the middle part of October, and not one of the audits is done.
The only one that I am responsible for is 18.
That's right.
Because
This
you're
falls
under
under
your
your
administration. I'm already.
7 members
Your
of council
mouth.
are responsible for the completion of all the financial matters
So
within
why
the
did they get it
borough.
wrong?
So don't blame it on one
Oversees
person's shoulder.
everything,
You
and that
are
was your
the-
responsibility.
You
You
were
didn't do
the-
your job.
I am not responsible to complete the audits. I have nothing to do with the completion of
You
the
were
audits.
the
We
president
have
of council.
provided
You're supposed to
professional
oversee all things on council. That was your job. You didn't do your job.
You didn't
Like
notify
Mark.
the rest of us.
They were yours. They were yours.
Who was in charge of the financial committee? Who was in charge of the audit committee?
You were still the president in charge of it.
It is not one member of council's responsibility to shoulder.
Let him talk.
Oversee council.
Let him talk.